Volcanic eruptions can wipe out entire cities, as they have the potential to unleash toxic gases, crushing mud flows and molten lava, causing huge damage. Here in this video, we have 10 of the world's biggest volcanic eruptions with high Volcanic Explosivity Index. Also, subscribe to the channel Explained Earth for more about Earth and its surroundings. On number 10, we have Mount Tambora in Indonesia 1815, VEI 7. With up to 120,000 fatalities, Mount Tambora is the deadliest eruption in recent human history. Tambora erupted on April 10th of 1815, spewing 40 kilometers of volcanic ash into the sky. The explosion was the most intense in 500 years. A string of enormous tsunamis was produced due to the pyroclastic force's flow when it entered the ocean. Global crop failures were caused by the massive amount of SO2 released, which also caused a sharp drop in global temperature. While typhus swept over Europe, thousands of people in China died from starvation. The cost of grain increased by more than 4 times in Switzerland in the 2 years following the explosion. Number 9. Krakatoa, Indonesia 1883, VEI 6. One of the most destructive eruptions in modern human history, the Indonesian volcano Krakatoa utterly destroyed the island on which it's located. The volcano's walls were shattered by a series of enormous eruptions early on August 27th. The final eruption of Krakatoa was 4 times more powerful than the biggest bomb ever dropped by humans. Its radio wave circled the world 7 times. It caused a string of tsunamis that wreaked havoc on the area, killing 36,000 people and wiping entire villages. The cost of the eruption has been put as high as $1.5 billion by some. On number 8, we have Laki in Iceland 1783, VEI 6. The Laki eruption's destruction was felt worldwide for years after it happened. Throughout its 8-month eruption, Laki produced 14.7 cubic kilometers of lava. 60% of Iceland's grazing animals perished due to toxic gas poisoning the crops. There was enough SO2 released by the volcano to produce acid rain and a temperature dip. Over 10,000 Icelanders died in a famine brought on by the eruption, representing almost a fourth of the nation's population. The toxic explosion from Laki, which moved on south, killed 23,000 people in Britain and sparked a famine in Egypt. According to some environmental historians, the French Revolution may have been sparked by the European starvation brought on by the eruption. Number 7. Mount Pelée, the Caribbean, 1902, VEI 4. Mount Pelée was believed to be dormant until it erupted in the worst eruption of the 20th century. St. Pierre was destroyed on May 8 when Mount Pelée erupted in a fiery explosion of volcanic debris and hot gas. Only 2 of the 28,000 residents of St. Pierre were still alive. The eruption was believed to have cost $50 million. In the Caribbean's Lesser Antilles volcanic arc, Mount Pelée is still an active volcano located near the northernmost point of Martinique, an island and French overseas department. Its volcanic cone comprises stacked layers of ash and lava that have been cemented. 1932 saw its most recent eruption. Number 6, we have Lopango, El Salvador, 450 AD, VEI 6+. The second largest volcanic explosion in the past 200,000 years was the first known eruption of Lopango, which occurred in 450 AD. It's believed that several Mayan cities were devastated by this enormous eruption. For more than a year, ash and dust covered the skies. Up to 100,000 people may have died in the explosion, and over 400,000 people may have been displaced. Crop failures from Rome to China were caused by the global chill that occurred in AD 535 to 536 and is believed to be its origin. On the borders of the departments of San Salvador, La Paz, Cuscatlan, in central El Salvador, Lake Lopango is now a crater lake that fills an 8 by 11 kilometers volcanic caldera. The caldera, which is immediately east of the nation's capital city of San Salvador and houses the second largest lake in the country, has a scalloped 100 meter or 330 feet to 500 meters or 1,600 feet high rim. Any surplus drains to the Pacific Ocean via the Jiboa River. Extreme weather in 535 to 536 is said to have been caused by the eruption of Lopango Volcano. Volcano gas emissions, like any other natural calamity, have a negative impact on climate, the environment, and humans. Continue watching the video to discover about the 5 world's largest eruptions on our channel, Explained Earth. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in learning about many hidden secrets of Earth. Please like and share the video as widely as possible. Number 5. Mount Unzen in Japan, 1792, VEI-2. In the middle of the Shimabara Peninsula in Nagasaki Prefecture, Mount Unzen or Unzen-dake rises. It's situated on the outer ring of the Garita Caldera, west of the peninsula and centered on Tachibana Bay. Although Unzen-dake has a total of more than 20 mountains, the complexity of the shape was portrayed by various numbers. The deadliest volcanic eruption in Japan has always been Mount Unzen. The explosion caused the volcano's dome to collapse, causing a tremendous landslide that buried Shimabara and split into the ocean, causing a wave 57 meters high. About 15,000 people perished in the calamity. Damages to fish and agricultural infrastructure were estimated to have cost 17.4 billion yen, approximately $150 million. On number 4, we have Nevado del Ruiz, Colombia, 1985, VEI-3. Despite being only moderately large, the Nevado del Ruiz eruption had disastrous effects. The subsequent mud flow, which buried the village of Armiro and claimed 20,000 lives, was the most harmful aspect of the eruption. Nevado, which cost an estimated $1 billion, is recognized by the International Disaster Database as the most expensive volcanic eruption. The volcano is now part of the National Park Los Nevados, which also has several other volcanoes. The Nevado del Ruiz top is covered by sizable glaciers. Up to 500,000 people may be at risk from lahars from upcoming eruptions, and the volcano continues to threaten nearby towns and villages. The Volcanic and Seismic Observatory of Manizales continuously keeps an eye on the Nevado del Ruiz volcano. Number 3 is Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, 1991, VEI-6. The second largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century was that of Mount Pinatubo. The volcano erupted on June 15th and an ash cloud ascended 35 kilometers into the sky. Global temperatures fell due to the eruption's large pyroclastic flow avalanches and over 20 million tons of SO2 thrown into the stratosphere. Although just 722 individuals died in the explosion, more than 200,000 people were left homeless. Over $200 million was spent in the eruption. On number 2, we have Mount Vesuvius, Italy, 79 AD, VEI-5. Mount Vesuvius has erupted multiple times, but the most gruesome eruption in 79 AD is the most well-known. The surrounding cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum were entirely buried on August 24th when Vesuvius erupted, spewing ash, mud, and deadly fumes. 16,000 people were killed in the eruption. The cities weren't unearthed and rediscovered until 1595. Today, the cost of a similar eruption would be in the billions. Since then, Vesuvius has erupted frequently. It's the only volcano in mainland Europe that erupted in the previous century. 3 million people live close enough to the volcano to be impacted by an eruption, with 600,000 living in the danger zone, making it one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. The world's most inhabited volcanic region is located here. Plinian eruptions are defined as powerful and explosive eruptions. And at number 1, Santa Maria, Guatemala, 1902, VEI-6. The Santa Maria volcano did not erupt for many centuries, if not millennia. That is until a string of earthquakes in the Central American region in 1902 triggered a significant eruption. At least 5,000 people were killed in the eruption. However, many think the number is overstated. Over 19 days, the explosion generated a column that was 28 kilometers tall and 5.5 cubic kilometers of pyroclastic debris. For days after the explosion, Guatemala's skies were clouded with ash, eventually reaching San Francisco. Damages were estimated to have exceeded $1 million. Economic damage can also result from volcanic eruptions. While estimating the financial cost of prehistoric eruptions is essentially theoretical, estimating the cost of more recent eruptions involves evaluating the damage to local infrastructure and the impact on residents' ability to earn a living. According to United Nations research, volcanic eruptions caused injuries of $152.6 billion between 1995 and 2015, or around $7.6 billion yearly. Volcanoes have buried cities and entire civilizations, killed 82,000 people and darkened the skies of the entire world. Volcanoes continue to be unpredictable despite advancements in science, and recent years have increased the frequency of eruptions. And that's all I've got for now. If you find this video intriguing, please like and share it. And to know more about our Earth and the universe surrounding it, subscribe to Explained Earth and we'll tell you all about it.